Hello, everyone. Preserving Pyramid Lake's natural habitat and ecosystem is very important, especially for future generations to come. Scientists and the Paiute tribe have put in great efforts to stop things like pollution, overfishing, and drought. All these things can greatly affect Pyramid Lake's habitat. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pyramid Lake. This is a hidden gem in northern Nevada's Great Basin, and it's a saltwater lake that dates back thousands of years. Pyramid Lake is a vital ecosystem that is home to many different plants and animals that all interact with each other. It's home to many different various types of fish, plants, and even supports humans that live close to the lake. A fish that is vital to Pyramid Lake's ecosystem is the Lahontan cutthroat trout, which almost went extinct, but thanks to great efforts by the Paiute tribe and scientists, that helped restore it back to its natural ecosystem. That brings us to our second term, which is biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety and diversity of plants, animals, and insects that are all around Pyramid Lake. All these plants, animals, and insects help keep the lake very healthy. All right, who am I here with?
Nick Rowe.
All right, and tell us what you think about Pyramid Lake.
I love Pyramid. It's a gem in the desert. It's a great place to hang out and enjoy, cool off. A lot of cool things to see.
All right, and who am I here with?
Bilbo Baggins.
All right, give us your honest opinion on Pyramid Lake.
It's a bit of a pit. I wish they'd take better care of it, and I miss the old days of Pyramid.
That is very true. I wish they would take better care of it too.
Yeah.
Come walk with me. Pyramid Lake is not just a lake. It's a living ecosystem full of so many different kinds of animals, and it's worth protecting.
So we are outside Lockwood, Nevada right now at the Lago Marcino Canyon Valley Trail. And this right here is the Long Valley Creek. This would be a huge abiotic factor for the ecosystem that we are in. This would attract a lot of biodiversity. As you can see here, we have a bunch of different kinds of trees, ferns, and brush, as well as in the water we have different growths of algae and other types of water-dwelling plants. So that would partially be what makes this area such a huge component of this ecosystem. As you can see here, along the creek we have a duck. Previously we saw a bunch of tadpoles and other different flies living in the water. This is a pretty good show of our food chain up here. Just along this creek you can see we have our decomposers. We even have our grass, which is going to be the first level. We also have, like I said, the tadpoles and the frogs that are eating all the bugs and smaller animals. And we even have the ducks up here, which are eating the frogs and other things like that. So it's pretty cool to see just the cycle in action. So this spot right up here is also pretty cool. We have a lot of evidence of animals up here like mule deer and bighorn sheep. So that also affects our biodiversity and is part of the bigger animals in our food chain, which also provide food for animals like coyotes. We actually have pretty good evidence of our ecological footprint right here. This area is protected by the government as one of Nevada's only rock formations, thanks to some 10,000-year-old petroglyphs just farther down the trail. But right here, as you can see, we have a metal bar. The tree looks like the tree probably grew around it. So it's evidence of how long we've really been here and how everything we do has some sort of impact on our ecosystems. So we're taking a break here. We are right by the Long Valley Creek. Just watching the water. And it reminded me, this creek actually flows into the Truckee River. So that means it shares a watershed with that. It all empties out eventually into the Pyramid Lake, which is where it builds up alkalinity because of how still it is and now exiting. So I just thought that was kind of neat. We hiked further up. We did see some animals like the birds. Kind of shows more of the biodiversity of the area, of what this water attracts. Being a protected area with a low ecological footprint, you end up seeing a high concentration of different animal species. So I think it's just pretty neat.
Hello, everyone. I am currently in Southern California, specifically Manhattan Beach. And Manhattan Beach isn't just, a fun place to, swim and surf. It's also a complex natural system that's full of life. This beach and the waters around it form what's called a vital habitat. As we know, a habitat provides food, shelter, and space for all living things. At Manhattan Beach, Birds like sandpipers, fish like halibut, and even tiny beach plants all rely on the shore and nearby ocean to stay alive. When one part of this system is either taken out or affected, the entire habitat is affected as well. But this coastal habitat is under threat. One of the biggest issues is coastal erosion, which is when waves, wind, and rising sea levels slowly wear away the shoreline. While this is natural, the effects of climate change and human activity are worsening the impacts greatly. According to the US Geological Survey, about 90% of California's beaches are already experiencing erosion, and some could lose up to 67% of their sand by the year 2100 if sea levels keep rising as they are. That would mean less space for wildlife and less beach for people to enjoy. Luckily, people are stepping up. Local groups and scientists are working on solutions like beach nourishment, restoring native plants, and educating the public about protecting the coast. By taking simple steps like reducing plastic waste, supporting beach cleanups, and respecting wildlife zones, we can all help this special place become healthy. Manhattan Beach is more than just a pretty view. It's a living environment where nature and people meet, and we all have a role in protecting it. Let's make sure this habitat stays strong for all the future generations to come.
And finally, welcome to Lake Tahoe. Tahoe is one of the clearest and cleanest lakes on the planet. And like Pyramid Lake, it is a perfect ecosystem for biodiversity to flourish. Although Lake Tahoe is thoroughly regulated today, it didn't used to always be that way. Tahoe is home to a beautiful forest, which in the 19th century, settlers decimated the trees surrounding the area to fuel the mining production out in Virginia City. This is known as deforestation. This process ruined a lot of habitable space for organisms and still show a lasting effect on the ecosystem today. Lake Tahoe has some of the clearest water on the planet. However, that does not exclude it from algae blooms. In most bodies of water, a green mass can be located, indicating algae. This is very normal. However, excess nutrients in the water caused by situations such as erosion can lead to eutrophication. In other words, the overgrowth of algae. This not only takes away resources from other organisms, but can make life more habitable for invasive species. So what is an invasive species? An invasive species is an organism that is not native to the environment, which can spread and disrupt the ecosystem. These species are often caused by human interference, such as the Asian clam here in Tahoe. These clams were likely introduced accidentally via boat. These clams have rapidly spread throughout Tahoe. Asian clams have negatively impacted native species due to competing for food, habitats, and nutrient cycling. One of the main sources of food for Asian clams are algae. This shows that with an increase of algae through eutrophication, Asian clams can flourish. Lake Tahoe truly is a special place, just like every other ecosystem we visited. Discussing the impacts humanity has had and the environmental issues that have occurred over the years can truly highlight how important biodiversity is. These ecosystems are plentiful in life and deserve to be treated with care and respect.
This is the hardest part of our journey. Our foot's wet.
In most bodies of water,
And one thing we have already noticed is that this creek right here, oh, I forgot the name of the creek. Stop that recording.
in other words, the overgrowth of algae
There's a spider on my knee.
Just